Hi boys and girls. This week you learned all about how to compare fractions with like denominators and like numerators. So today we're just going to review a couple things. We kind of started this in class a little bit before we left, and then we have just been reviewing it this week. So I just want you to think about everything you've learned. This video is just to review. Okay, so with like denominators, when we look at like denominators, that means that the denominator is the bottom number. When the bottom numbers are the same, we are looking up here at the numerators, okay? And we're thinking to ourselves, which numerator is larger? Which digit is greater, okay? So we're going to use our symbols greater than, less than, and equal to. And we're gonna think, okay, is the digit 2 or 3 greater? 3 is greater. So the alligator wants to eat the larger number. So it wants to eat the numerator of 3, so it wants to eat the entire fraction of 3/4. Another example of this is if we had, let's say we had 5/8 and 6/8. Okay? We have the same denominator, the same digit as the bottom number. We look up to our numerators and we want to compare these numbers, okay? So we have the digit 5 and the digit 6. Which digit is greater? The digit 6 is greater, which means the alligator wants to eat the digit 6, which means the alligator wants to eat the fraction of 6/8. Remember, when the denominators are the same, you're checking out your numerators. Whatever is greater is the answer. And we also learned about like numerators. This was a little bit trickier, okay? So, hold on one second. I just want to write down an example, okay? When we have like numerators. Let's take something like this, okay? Our numerators are the same. We have 2 in the numerator for both of these fractions, and we have 4 and 3 as the denominator. So we have 2/4, and we're comparing it to 2/3. When the numerators are the same, you are looking for the exact opposite. You are looking for the smaller denominator. The smaller denominator is the greater fraction. So it's the absolute opposite of when you're comparing like denominators, okay? So if I'm looking here, okay, I notice that there's 4 in this denominator and 3. For like numerators, when the top numbers are the same, I want you to think which one is the smaller digit on the bottom, 4 or 3? 3 is smaller, okay? So that means that the pieces are larger, which means the alligator wants to eat the bigger pieces. If we were going to make models of this, okay, if we were going to make models, my models wouldn't look exactly the same, because for the model for 2/4, I would have 4, because there's 4 pieces in the denominator, 4 1/4 unit fractions in my whole. I am coloring in 2 of them. Compared to 2/3, I have 3 1/3 pieces in my whole. Okay, I am coloring in 2 of them. I have more of the whole shaded in 2/3 than in 2/4. Therefore, the alligator wants to eat this fraction because there's more in this fraction. This fraction is greater, okay? The other way to think about this is if I split a sandwich up, you and I have the same sandwich. If I split it and I say, okay, I'm going to split my sandwich into 4ths and I'm going to give you 1 piece. But you say, okay, I'm going to split my sandwich up into 1/3 and I'm going to give you 1 piece. The piece of your sandwich is going to be bigger because you have less pieces. Then if I give you a piece from my sandwich, 1 piece is going to be smaller because I have more pieces. So looking for the smaller number on the bottom when the numerators are the same means that you're getting a bigger piece. So whatever denominator is smaller when the numerators are the same is going to be your answer. Let's try just one more. If we have if we have 4/8 and 4/5, my numerators are the same. I'm going to look down here at my denominators. For my denominators, I want to look which denominator is smaller. 5 is smaller than 8, which means that there are less pieces, which means the pieces are larger. So the alligator wants to eat 4/5. If this is at all confusing to you, please message Mrs. Farley and I. We will both be available for Google Meets today, and we can help explain this to you a little better. On the following slides, you're going to just go down and you're going to drag in the less than, greater than, or equal to sign into the center square to help solve the problem. Good luck.